What's up, Mike?
What's up? I've got all these different windows playing here in the background, but we are good to
I
go. All
love
right,
it.
guys, what is up? Whoa, where? I don't know where. I've got a window playing from somewhere. I don't know where it is. Take it over. Talk first.
There we go. Okay, I got you. I got you. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the first episode in March. We are excited to be here. We literally have a game going right now with like 8 minutes left. We're having some fun betting that one over in the Discord. DGen betting at like 9 in the morning. So if that's your style and you aren't already in the Discord, what are you waiting for? But anyway, we got a lot on the slate today. A little bit of a crazy day for me, as Mike already knows. I'm moving in the middle of March, so real great timing for me here this month. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna check out what we have today. I know, Mike, you already gave out a pick or two. Radford only down 5 right now. Live total flirting between where it's opened and where it closed. So this is a fun one right now. I'm going to be sweating it, so you might get some good clips of me cheering and doing a little maestro action. But yeah, let's pull up some sims. Let's talk about some games. There's some good ones on the slate today. Let's, with no further ado.
Fantastic games on the slate, but yeah, this Radford, North Carolina A&T. What else could you ask for at 10:30 in the morning? At least that's what time it started where I live. If you're in California, that was an 8:30 a.m. tip.
It's pretty awesome.
Cool to wake
It's pretty
up.
awesome. I can't wait. I'm actually going to be in California for March Madness for the first weekend. So I'm going to be, I'm not really going to change my time zone, but the fact of the matter is that like everything's going to be operating like games start at 9 a.m. And that's really what I want in life. This is great. I love day games. Big South's going to be fun. I hope we get more of them. So let's do it. Let's get talking. I mean, Mike, I think you already gave out St. John's today, right?
I did give out St. John's today, and I played it at -1.5. Market very much does not agree with me. The market does not agree with my position on St. John's. Xavier appears to be getting a lot of market movement. I want to check and see where it's at now. I know some of it is related to injury news. Down to -1 and -105. This thing is flirting with a pick'em. I think that's probably where we see it close. I like St. John's here. Nate Johnson for Xavier went through shoot around. He has a knee injury. He hasn't played in close to a month, 3 weeks. That matters for them, kind of. He's averaging less than 10 points a game, but he is going to be thrown back into the mix. Sometimes with players like that, definitely can take him a little bit to get up to speed in terms of conditioning and just overall rhythm playing with again. Big spot to do it in. So I like St. John's. These two teams are headed in the opposite directions. Talks about it on the edge. Make sure you go watch that and get the rest of the plays over there. But yeah, they've lost 4 straight. Haven't covered in any of them. St. John's plays with a ton of tempo. Rated number 2 in the country in terms of pace of play. I like their offensive efficiency. I like them playing at home, especially here in the second half of the season. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you want nothing to do with the game? How do you feel?
I think you're right. I think these teams are heading in the opposite directions. We've seen Xavier lose 4 straight games. That's not like small. So they're not really competing. I mean, we've talked about how I don't think this Seton Hall team is that legit. So seeing Xavier drop by 16 at home from the Seton Hall team, really not great, especially as a favorite. They've lost all 4 of their last games. They didn't cover any of them. They were only 2-point underdogs on the road at Providence, which is interesting. I think probably testament to still how little credit Providence is continuing to get because of their metrics. We've talked about that they're outperforming basically every single metric. We saw it last night. They covered +10. They only lost by 2. I think that this team is probably overrated, if anything. I like St. John's as myself. I know, being here in New York is not a small deal. I do think this is at Carnesecca. It is at Carnesecca. It is like the closest venue to me personally. I should go one day. Maybe we'll see. Definitely next season I'll be out there at some Carnesecca games. We'll do live market movers from Queens. I definitely agree with you. Does it mean a lot? Yeah, it does. I think it does, especially like certain arenas, especially certain teams. It's really team to team. I definitely have a problem with the blanket statement of 2.5 points or 3 points. Like some teams are really good at their home court. They have strong fans. Their fans show up for big games against rivals, and there's a lot of intricacy to that and knowing like which teams are gonna like bring out the crowds. So it's interesting to try to figure that out as part of capping the sport for sure. But all
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I agree with you quickly on that. I agree that there is no blanket statement that you should be baking in, say, 2.5, 3 points for home court. It's worth half a point to some teams. There are a few teams out there that I make it all the way up to 6 points, 2 full possessions in
Yep.
college basketball, which is just absolutely absurd, but that's where it is. So, yeah, I do. I like the question, but yes, home court, especially – if you're someone that's like really watching a lot of like Power 5 schools and big schools, has a massive impact in those spots.
It's definitely a less pronounced in the smaller schools. It can, especially in the regular season, right? When you get into like the playoffs, you can expect that crowds kind of come out a little bit more. But when you have like these middle, lower tier schools, those games are have a lot more variance, right? They're less consistent teams. The players are less consistent. It really comes down to a little bit more of like who's going to get their shots to fall rather than like, the quality of the looks necessarily. It's a little bit more variant. So I think it's probably a little safer to blanket in those like smaller games, but yeah, like consistent big name schools probably have good home edges. But yeah, very interesting to pay attention to. Hard to get perfect. This is a sport where this is a game where we go for 55%, right? And then we cheer ourselves and give ourselves a pat on the back because we're one of the best. But it's hard. It's hard. 55% is tough. Anyway, Arkansas LSU. Let's get into the meat of this game. Ooh, 3-point deficit for Radford right now, man. I'm gonna be sweating this one.
It's a big two. They're down 2 right now. Big spot.
What a comeback.
Yes. Arkansas LSU though. I definitely have a model edge on it. I don't love the model edge. I should probably play it, but I haven't yet. I'm just kind of waiting it out. Model says we should play the under here. And that terrifies me with this Arkansas team in this spot. So would love to get your thoughts on it, but this number is up to 142.5 in the market. I've got it coming in 134.5 here. I would love someone else's opinion on it because my model has been mostly on LSU leans on the under. Arkansas, we know, plays with pace. LSU is very comfortable playing with pace. Talk to me on it.
I think you're on the right track. I think you're on the right track in terms of like being a little unsure. LSU definitely can keep it slower when they're like expected to lose, right? They do have a good defense. We've watched it for most of the season. And, a lot of people always associate LSU with like a fiery offense, and they definitely can get it to go quicker, but they have an underrated defense. So especially when they're expected to lose here against Arkansas, a team that's I think like 9-1 in their last 10 games, 16-1 at home. They've only dropped one home game all year. This Razorbacks team. So, if you're looking maybe for a donkey leg, that could be interesting today, minus 245. We'll get to that later, but they haven't really dropped games at home. So I think LSU is probably going to come in there looking to contain them and play a slower game. I don't hate this. It's a big game, right? We're late in the season. I don't really know the standings implications right now in the SEC, but I can imagine that they don't have many more games on the schedule. Yeah, both teams are going to have one more game left in the year. This is technically going to be Arkansas's final home game as well. It is Arkansas's final home game on the season. So I don't know. It definitely feels like LSU might slow this game down. That 5.5 might end up being a little big, and that, the total can go under. So I agree with your model's take, but I also probably agree with staying away. Totals right now definitely are worrying to me. I think the best way to do totals is wait for these playoff games and bet unders in the playoff games where the baskets definitely matter more. Here, you're just hoping that it gets slowed down. And, again, you can probably trust this LSU defense on the road, 4-8 totals on the road this season. So a nice little 66% cash rate on unders. They have never gone over as an underdog, according to Action. Don't really know how accurate that is, but my guess is it is probably a strong trend. So maybe be a little wary there too. We've seen these trends getting disrupted at the end of the year. So yeah, I definitely think that this is probably a good stay away, lean under, lean taking the points because that's correlated, right?
Yeah. I like I said, it's a very strong lean towards the under.
Yeah.
I haven't decided if I'm going to make it an official play. This number tends to try to go up.
Yes. The
I'd
sharpest,
like to get
sharp side's the
this
total.
closer to
Over.
144, which I think is
Mhm.
very possible. Another thing for the question on the home court advantage. So, how much the home court means here in this game with Arkansas at home? I've got it worth 4.2 points versus
Mhm.
like a neutral site. No, 4.7, excuse me.
Okay.
So, this is basically saying that Arkansas is the better team by 1 point.
Yeah.
In a neutral spot. So, for
I
those
think that's
curious.
pretty fair. I mean, look, Arkansas has been playing well, but this is probably one of those teams that's going to succeed at home late in the season. You know, they are doing pretty well. They definitely can be dangerous in March here. So yeah, I'm not really gonna go fade Arkansas. I like that team. I feel like LSU was a little bit of a flash in the pan at the beginning of the year and has faded. I think we cashed a lot on them early in the year and they've been a little bit more troublesome. So I'll just avoid it. It's anytime I'm discussing it this long and I can't come to an opinion, it's either the points or pass. Like at that point,
Yeah.
But all right, Creighton UConn is going to be an interesting one. We're just seeing a lot of Big East action today after yesterday's big game where Nova notched that win to actually keep them in running for the first seed, I believe. So yeah, but this game's interesting here. You have 5.8. I don't know. Seems pretty fair. Creighton's been a little up and down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The models are definitely going to disagree on this one. Creighton, it's tough to go win games on the road at this point in the season. We say that every stream, but it just is true.
Yeah.
UConn is kind of on a roll right now, honestly. They had a tough loss at Xavier, but other than that, I mean, since for the last month, basically, they've been really, really on a tear. And then on the other side, Creighton's been pretty decent too. They were
have their
horrible against
number.
Providence, but God.
Creighton has apparently, I mean, this makes sense, right? Because these teams both kind of joined this conference a little. No, well, Creighton joined in 2020, right? I believe that's true. That's tough for me to keep track of. That's some conference movements. Like, good luck. But nonetheless, I don't think UConn's ever beaten Creighton.
No.
Right. So that's really interesting. And I think that definitely comes into play here. I mean, these teams definitely know that they've met 3 times in the last 2 years. Creighton already won plus 10.5-point underdogs at UConn. So this is where I think you get like a lot of difference in philosophies. Are you going to say, hey, we have a revenge game here. UConn wants to blow them out. They do not want to get swept. Or do you say, okay, maybe Creighton just matches up well or has their number or can outcoach what UConn puts out? Like this is where I think you get very like philosophical in how you bet. The numbers are probably going to say UConn. And if you like that revenge game mindset and that they don't want to get swept by Creighton, yeah, I don't think 4.5 is going to be enough. If that turns out to be the case, the other side is probably Creighton winning. I don't really see. I would be shocked to see like a 1-point UConn win here. I think the distribution of the results is probably either a bigger UConn win or like a tight Creighton win or a surprising Creighton win. But a home team right now plus points at the end of the season is always kind of nice in conference. Conference road games are tough, especially in March. So just be aware of that. No play for me, honestly. Again, I might have plays later, like tonight. I'm going to go into everything a little bit more in depth. Been in meetings all damn morning. That's life. But yeah, what's next? Let's keep going. DePaul Marquette, stay in the conference.
DePaul Marquette. I just want to point out on Discord this morning also, I jokingly said this game's going to end 60-60, and then it's going to somehow go over by a point in overtime.
What did I say back, Mike? I said that's why I took it to go to overtime plus 950 in the picks channel. So I'll take my flowers if it hits overtime. But yeah, I can't believe Radford's come back. What a second half here. They were oh my God, this is nuts. They were down by 7 like not that long ago, and it's tied. So they've shut him out for the last 6 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
NCAT hasn't scored since the 8 minute mark. It's pretty crazy. Oh, that's not true. I don't know why my welcome to Action App. But anyway,
Stop using the Action App. It is the worst app.
I paid for it for the year. I'm going to use it until it's over. I haven't found anything that does better bet tracking and the alerts. So you know what? Whatever.
Yeah. Fair.
DraftKings and FanDuel are pretty well integrated. So to be able to set alerts for line movements is still pretty worth it to me, honestly.
Fair. Yeah. Marquette game. I like Marquette. The model, it's no secret we've been on Marquette a little bit with the model for quite a while. Most of the season, we've found edges.
I like this team.
Worked out a lot in a lot of times. A few games it definitely has not. But this one, this line's at 2, and I think it's going to move to 1.5. And I know it's tough to win in these spots. I don't think DePaul's very good.
Sneaky against the spread, though. 18-10, 12-5 against the spread at home. But Marquette actually has traveled very well. Has only lost 2 games in which they were favored. Probably should be able to get this win. So, yeah. I think it's just, if you think they win, I think you probably take the money line. I feel like weirdly that 2 is asking for trouble here, and minus 134. I mean, it's not great. It's not great paying 24 cents for 2 points, honestly. But maybe there's better lines. Let me see if we can find. Yeah, I'm seeing. Yeah, 125, 15 cents. Yeah, I would do minus 125 on DraftKings or FanDuel here on the money line instead of taking minus 2 if you like Marquette. I don't know. I've been playing like that a little bit on small favorites, and I think it just takes some of the worry out at the end of the game if it's close. It's so frustrating. And I'll pay the 50. I know it's a lot, but like that's, how these distributions are plotted, man. There's a really high percent chance that these things come in right at the line. And if you believe that means there's a really good chance at a 1 or 2 point game in this scenario. So I'll take the money line and not worry about it. Yeah. But not a total play for me. Just a good look. Let's keep it going though. It's a busy day. We could probably be here till 3:30 if we wanted. But UNLV Wyoming. This is wow. Wyoming disappointed at home against San Diego State in their last time out, while UNLV probably trying to keep their mouths from drooling too much because they get to play the conference tournament at home in Las Vegas every year. Sneaky pick in terms of a future. If you like a team to maybe make a run in that conference tournament, I like UNLV. They get to play at home. And I don't think it's talked about enough, but yeah, no, I think this is an interesting one. What are your thoughts?
I want to back Wyoming after that loss to San Diego State. I really want to back them. The issue for me is I like both of these teams.
Yes.
I think both of these teams are solid. They're decent. They're teams that I've had model edges on throughout the season. It's not surprising to me that UNLV in this spot is basically flipped to the minus 1.5 favorite. If we see 2, for example, this evening, that's when I'm really starting to become interested in Wyoming. If you want to go that route, but that's where I lean. There's not enough left there on any side of the total. But I do lean towards Wyoming. I do think they're a good team. They just had a tough loss on their home floor where they had been. I believe they were undefeated at home until that loss to San Diego State.
And they had lost 7 straight to San Diego State. So if you sort of just believe that that's team who's, I guess their defense is really good. We've talked about it all season, right? We've taken a lot of unders with that defense. They are a good defense. So if you want to give them credit there for being a good defense, then it would make sense that maybe that was the problem there. And Wyoming probably has an easier time with this UNLV defense. And you can get up a couple more points on the road, looking to bounce back. Yeah, I think this is a frustration game for them. I mean, they were sort of hunting in it. They were there in the top. It's a pretty big loss late in the season to take. So I think they come out and they get this one done. I think it's an important one because these are probably 2 of my favorite teams to take a future on in this conference tournament. Wyoming is a surprise team. They have not been this good, maybe in their school's history. There was a lot of chatter around them at the end of last year about being this good, about having a lot of players that were probably staying, that were going to be, leveling up a little bit, and they have. So would love to see them make a run. But I also think this UNLV at team at home could be a problem. So I'll pass. But 50 seconds left here for you, NCAT, Mike.
Yeah, I've got it on over
bucket.
here.
Let's go. And it's an odd score. So we just no threes or no fouls, and we can. We have a 2 p.m. game. We should definitely talk about that one before it gets to be 2 p.m.
Yeah, what is the
it's Asheville, Charlotte.
You'll have to scroll to find that one because it's definitely not at the top of my interests.
I can't blame you. Did I miss it?
Right there. UNC Asheville. Right above. You're at the bottom right there. You had it.
Cool. All right, we can talk about this one. I like that the games are up next, but come on, Radford. Please don't. If it ties at 60, I'm going to yell.
It's exactly what I told you was going to happen.
I know. I cannot have you be this correct. Oh my God, he missed. Get out of town, man. It's 60-60 with 40 seconds left. This is going to be a great finish live on the air. But all right, we can talk about this 2 p.m. game for sure while this comes to a close. I think they're going to a timeout.
Let's talk about it. I don't have a ton of thoughts because I've admittedly never seen either team play, nor will I. But the computer kind of likes the over a little bit in this game.
Yeah, I don't blame it.
So
I think this is a donkey leg, but is it too big of a line? It's probably like minus 700, right? Minus 625. Okay.
I can tell you Charleston Southern comes in at basically the worst defensive efficiency in college basketball.
The last 2 years, they've met 4 times, right? This year, UNCA won both meetings by at least 19 points.
Wow.
Yeah. UNCA did. Charleston Southern did put up a fight last year in the second half of the back-to-back, but that's a very unique scenario, right? They got blown out in the first game by 38, and then the second game of the back-to-back last year with the COVID protocols in January, they only lost by 8. So I don't really take that second game to be too much of an indicator because of its back-to-back status. It's hard to, get to blah a team in back-to-back days in college basketball. The fact that they won is testament enough, honestly. I think it's probably UNCA here. Charleston Southern is very bad, but apparently they're the sharp side according to Action, but all the money seems to be on UNCA. I don't hate it. This is at the same Bojangles arena too, right?
Probably.
Yeah. So, wow, man. I think it's Asheville. I really do.
For me, it would be over or Asheville's team total over.
Okay. What's that line at? Let's look at that line.
It's not as big an edge as I thought. The bigger edge is actually on the full game, which makes a little bit of sense considering I have the number basically where the market is on the spread. But the team total is 74.5. The total is 138.
Interesting. All right, here we go. Ball inbound, 35 seconds, crossing the line.
You're like 10 seconds behind me, so I'll try not to react.
Oh, I'm 10 seconds behind you?
Yeah.
My ESPN is slow, but my FanDuel is usually fast. So you can react. That's fine. I'll take the news as fast as I can get it. Or we can give the people what they want. Come on, UNC.
13 seconds left, and we're shooting free throws.
Hey. Let's go. That's a
dream scenario is to make one of 2. Unless you want overtime.
That total was at 136.5, and it's going to finish at like 122.
You just stop talking. It's going to finish at like 133 if it goes to overtime. So just let it go. Just chill.
I cannot control these crappy teams shooting free throws. If I could, I wouldn't lose bets. Let's put it that way.
Let's just, for the record, we posted the data at 132 and the market moved to 128, exactly where the computer said. And then I told you 60-60.
I know we have it. I get it. We have it in writing. I understand. Ref show over here. All right, let's keep on moving. I'll probably, if I win this UNC AT bet, I might degen bet on UNC Asheville. Honestly, just roll over some winnings and keep the good run going. So we'll have a verdict on that within the 5 minutes here. Hopefully. Hopefully. But yeah, no, that's going to be an interesting one. This Big South is a lot of fun. I think UNC Asheville can get it done. They're not a terrible team, but Charleston Southern kind of is. I mean, you got to remember that this is the 8-9 matchup we're watching today. And some of these teams are going to be worse than these guys. So
yeah, it's a lopsided matchup for an 8-9 though.
This NCAT Radford, I'm saying, is the 8-9.
Oh, missed. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah. He missed the first free throw.
Nice.
Make the second one. Let's go.
Ew. Oh God. There might only be 8 points in overtime here, though.
Missed them both.
That's amazing. Wow, it's March, baby. That's what happened. I cashed a bet like that. Oh, it rimmed around. All right, 12 seconds. Come on, what do we got, Mike? They hit it? Are they taking a timeout?
Oh, they took a timeout. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is out of fucking control. Pardon my language. Come on, dude. Come on. I can hit 1 or 2 free throws. Like at least 75% of the time I can get 1 or 2. Come on now. Come on.
They I didn't get to give this one as the sports line under of the day just because once I gave it and then it moved 4 points. I don't like to do that to people.
Fair.
So we didn't get it
in the I got it in the Discord. So people.
No, yeah, I got it in the Discord, but we can't post the sports line underdog of the day until after the show is over at least. So it just moved too much in time, but I'm going to laugh if it is 60-60 and then it goes over that number by 1 point like we talked about.
I do not like when you're this correct. And it hurts my bets. I'll say that. I don't mind when you're totally spot on and I win my bets, but come on, Mike.
This one is tough. All right, we can move on a little bit though while we're sweating if you want to. What game you want to go back up to the top? Hit a couple of the bigger games.
Yeah, sure.
Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Big 12 stuff. Oklahoma State still not eligible for postseason play. Always interesting to watch them and their motivation down the stretch here. And I don't know who I'm kidding. Like, I'm not going to focus when there's 8 seconds left in this game. So let's just sweat this game out. I'm just not. I started talking about another game and I was like out of the corner of my eye.
We have money on the line. All right, here we go. All right, tell us what happens, Mike. I'm watching on my phone. So
the clock stopped for no reason and we have overtime 60-60.
God damn it, Mike.
All right. Well, you know.
Oh my God, everything's bouncing around that rim so hard. I just got the text from Max. That's great. That's great. Hey. Can we talk about who put in the Discord to take that bet? Can we talk about it? Can we talk about who just hit a plus 950 bet? Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I'm getting ready to fire off a little tweet for you. That's fantastic. Now, can we keep this under somehow? You know, we need 9 total points in overtime.
Dude, you need to
12.
Screenshot that 60-60 call.
Oh yeah, I have.
What in the hell? Oh my God. Wait, where even is it? Only chance of the 15 point. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. All right, that's fine. We just needed a 1 point loss, dude. All right, well, let's just get. I have 12 points of cushion here at 132 though. So that's okay. That's okay. I think 12 points is okay. This thing slowed down so hard. 8's probably not very safe, but a whole 12?
12 is interesting. 12 is going to be a sweat. So unfortunately for everybody watching, if you're not invested, I'm sorry.
Go live bet it right now. If you want.
Don't live bet it right now. You definitely don't do that. But it is a sweat, and it's one that's going to be.
Yeah, if I'm looking down here, that's what's going on. So let me put my phone on my computer over here. Is that going to fall? It's probably going to fall. There we go. All right, now it's on my screen, so I can make it at least look like I'm looking. But okay, what a game! March is here, man. This is the second. Is this the second? No, we had games yesterday, right? Yeah, I just didn't pay attention yesterday. Radford wins the tip. Okay. Yeah, nice and slow. Every point got to matter. No threes. Get good looks. Nice and slow. There we go. Inside shot. 2 rims out. Love to see it. Offensive rebound. You idiot. Oh my God. Okay. I'm so glad these teams suck. I'm so glad these teams suck. Yeah, the problem is with this, Daniel, is that we would get shut down for broadcasting live sports that ESPN has the right to. Which, I mean, look, would be great. Ew, what a bad shot. Let's go. Oh my God.
All right.
All right, let's go into the next one. We got time. We can watch points. There's no points in the first minute. That's a good sign here. What about Wichita State Tulsa here, Mike?
Fantastic. Close regional game. And this one, Wichita State's my model has been kind of weird on them. It's very matchup dependent on where and when I'm backing Wichita State, which might sound like a really silly comment because it's like that for a lot of teams. But I couldn't get to anything in this game. I thought that we might, but I'm like dead on. It's -3 in the market. It's 137 or 135.5. I'm pretty much right there. So I personally am very comfortable passing it when it does that. But
it's -3, 135, and you have
3.5 and 137 or 3.2. Yeah, it's just too close for me to get anywhere, and I frankly am happy about that. Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. Can I do this? What happens on the screen over there? Where did we go? I'm all lost on all my screens right now. It's pretty great. Come on. Oh, what a dunk. Wow.
I need him to slow down just a little bit here. Taking possession.
At least we're going to cash the +2.5. It looks like that's good. That's good. Just chill. Let's chill. Yes, slow it down, Radford. Every point matters. You need a good look. Yep. No shot until the last 10 seconds. That's right. That's right. That's right. And missed.
All right. I'll hit the next game. Rutgers in Indiana. Larry talked about this one on the early edge this morning. That one is basically a play-in game. Neither team's super comfortable at this point.
Give me Indiana. Give me Indiana.
Give me Indiana. Yeah. Rutgers is a team that's definitely performed better at home. I'm going to quickly look at some of my numbers on
I can't look at
ratings for them home versus away.
I'm not.
I tend to agree with you that it's going to be. Yeah, I lean Indiana. What's the number out on the market on it? I was waiting for this one to come down.
-5.
Yeah, 5.5. It's moved the other way, which makes sense. It's moving to where the sim is, but I was hoping that people were going to bet Rutgers in this spot. We are going to be able to get it under 5, get it to 4.5. That'd be a number that I'd be very comfortable with.
I don't think that this Rutgers team has looked like a tournament team, except like when they're in their own building. And you know what? The games aren't in their own building. So like,
3-point play.
And 1. But hey man, I got equal amounts on NCA&T, and I hit that overtime. I had more.
You already got the overtime. You're good.
Right, I'm already up on the overtime bet alone. So I literally I could lose both. We could go over and Rutgers could cover somehow, even though I have +2.5, and I'd still be up. So good start to the day for me. March has been good so far, honestly, except Fairleigh Dickinson. That fucking sucked. Can't believe that team lost still. That was ridiculous. But anyway, I think Indiana's just a more solid team this year. And if this is my only problem here, all right, is that this game is one of those games where Indiana is probably on the court to win and not to cover, right? Like they will probably happily settle for a 2-point victory here. They're not going to push. They're not like you're taking this if you think either that Indiana, oh, come on, missed that. Let's go. Indiana either wins this game by like a lot, like really dominates them, or you think if like fouls or something fall in your favor. But I can't really. I think it is probably Indiana. I like them in a money line play here. This is probably actually a sharper money line than it might be a spread. Mike, you and I have been talking about this, like maybe taking some money lines that are favorites that maybe we have a point edge on, that it might just be more likely that they win than the market's billing you, which is a big deal. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I think Indiana wins. That's my safest call here. And I know it's not like a big call, but like a 5-point favorite still is by no means 100% to win. But I think it's a good chance they do get this one done. But man, this game is gross right now, Mike.
Oh, it's terrible basketball. It's just absolutely horrible.
What am I watching?
We're down to 1:16 left. 7-point lead for A&T. Total is currently 127.
Rough for under 128, 129 backers right now, man. That's why you got to get that good number at 132. But let's just have it stop here. My worry is fouls and foul shots, obviously. So
yeah, fortunately, these teams have been horrible at shooting free throws. So let's see if that continues. Nope, he gets one.
Nice.
Back to 128. This game's definitely ending 133, exactly like I said. Overtime, over by one. It's happening.
Is it going to be a 13-0 5-minute period, though? That's the question of the hour.
Nah, Radford's going to hit 1-3.
Probably with nobody on
free throws.
Yep.
We're up to 129.
They're rolling the ball out. Come on, pick it up. All right. We need a miss. That's what we need. We need a miss, and for the game then just to settle. Oh, there's a steal. Oh, just hold it. Just hold it.
Or just hold it.
Oh, throw it down. Okay.
131. Now you're toast.
Yeah,
everything's toast on that.
Yeah. And misses. Okay. Look, Mike, we saw Andrew Wiggins not get a whole fucking point for you last night.
Well, he didn't play. The difference is he wasn't in the game.
I understand. I know. And yeah, Rutgers won at Wisconsin is a big deal for sure, says Patrick. I agree. But I don't know. That's gonna be an interesting one. Radford is throwing this
There's
away.
The 3 they hit.
There's the 3. There's the over. That's a little sad.
Like I said, they don't call it undertime. They call it overtime, unfortunately.
It was a good undercall. That's for sure. It was a good undercall.
All right. Well, we can give that one up.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, again, I kind of did say in the Discord that I was going to bet out of it. I really wish I got that 124. That was a gift. It almost would have missed. That's hilarious. But yeah, no, what a game. What a game.
All right. Yeah, I like Indiana money line. I would play them 4.5. It's 4.5 minus 115 on MGM. Not going to touch it still at this point, but we'll see what kind of buying happens later today. Maryland, Minnesota, another Big Ten matchup. I've got Maryland minus 5.2. I have no clue where the market is on this one. This one is at 8. So I am leaning with Minnesota in the points, which is scary. You love Minnesota. You've bet on them a number of times this year that I remember.
Recently.
I know not recently. I think it was one of your worst losses of the year was Minnesota. So I like to give you a hard time on that one. But that's where I'm leaning with the points.
Wasn't it against Maryland?
I think so.
Oh, that was Nebraska. I can't even keep them straight. Okay. Yeah, -7 here for Maryland, I think is probably fair. I got, you have this at 5. I think it's probably an accurate line.
It's -8 in the market for the most part.
Okay. Yeah. I think Caesars might have 7. Not sure. I think ESPN does get theirs from Caesars, but
yeah, Caesars is actually at 7, MGM 7.5, DraftKings at right now.
Oh, I just got a reminder to get into the NFL all day line for the standard pack. We definitely don't want to miss that. That's a good value. I'm not buying premium packs anymore. I'll tell you that much.
Alabama, Texas A&M.
Okay.
Big spread at this
point. I think that's pretty fair. Fair. I don't really like this one today, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. I was wondering why I couldn't see them. I can't see my totals on this because you zoomed in so much. We can't see the totals. Sorry.
Interesting. There they are.
Yeah, so slight lean on the over, which makes sense on Alabama running it up, pulling away in a big home win. I'm close enough on market that I can't get to it, but it does profile as one that could have an interesting live bet opportunity if Bama's not off to a hot start.
Yeah,
because they shoot so many threes that they can very easily be tied, fall behind by 6 or 7, or like we've seen when they played Kentucky, they can shoot hot in the first half 25 pretty quickly. So just know that's a high variance team, which generally presents some very unique in-game betting opportunities.
Yep, I agree. Definitely interesting to see what's going to go on there, but hard for me to bet on that game, honestly. Alabama's been a little tricky this season. But all right, Florida State here against Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I don't know. Hell, fucking know.
Yep.
I'm like not having it today. My head's starting to like. I got that damn booster shot, and now because I got to fly over to LA. So, oh yeah. But all right. Notre Dame -3 right now is the line. You have about 3.8. Nothing really going on the total either. Probably maybe a slight lean over, but nothing crazy, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
no, not even
ACC
really a
wins.
lean over for me, but Notre Dame is interesting for me in this spot, especially watching some of the market movement. You mentioned 3, it's 2.5 and only -105 on DraftKings. This thing is close to flipping to 2. We could see some 2s out there later today. At that point, I have some interest there, but once again, projects as a pretty good live bet opportunity spot. I think you'll be able to pick up some decent numbers, potentially an arbitrage situation where you're betting both money lines in the game.
Yep.
I do expect 5 to 8 point runs from both teams in this one. If you ask me to make the play, though, I would lay the -2.5 or in about an hour and a half -2 with Notre Dame.
I agree. I don't love it, but I like how you're approaching it just in general terms of practice. Let's see what's next.
BC.
Oh man, do we think that Radford's fouling here? 5-point game, 31 seconds. Yeah, they are. What am I even talking about?
Oh, you're still watching that? I gave up a long time ago.
Well, I'm still interested because I feel like it's still March, man. They could score 5 points in 31 seconds.
I can't believe you bet the under on this game. Honestly, this game's going over by like 10 points, dude.
Yeah, I mean, terrible call by me, you know. But then look, I literally was talking with Max this morning. It's like I love the small little dip on the overtime at a big money bet to pad it because I just didn't. This was the only way it was going over. So why not take it? So and we did, and bada bing, bada boom. So I'm not mad. I won more on that than I did than I lost on the under. So that's how you got to do it. You got to protect yourself. You got to look at smart stuff. So anyway, we got what Boston College, Miami here. That's a little suspect to me. I don't know. I'd probably stay off that one. I don't really trust that Boston College 6-12 in the ACC -4 on the road for Miami. This probably game doesn't really matter all that much. I'm sure Miami wins, but like, do they care to get it done big? You know, you have 4.6, 143. Again, these ACC totals definitely come in your model over because this is an offensively minded conference and they all have decent offensive efficiency metrics. Yeah. Interesting one. All right. I don't really love it, though. What do we think about Mississippi State, Auburn?
Mississippi State, that team is the good thing for them. I want to look and see what I have on their actual ratings now. They're much better at home. Much better at home. So they are actually, for me, they are the number 3 home court team in college basketball.
Even this year with this abysmal performance?
They've been great at home.
Oh, I'm just saying on the season.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They're 17-12, but they have a pretty nice situation at home. So that is why you see the line where it is. Now, if
your model thinks it still should be 6, though.
Yeah. So let me see. Where's the I need to check and see where the numbers are currently.
It's -4, 142, Mike. So you have a 2.8 point edge on Auburn with a pretty accurate total estimation.
Right. So I like Auburn
in
this spot. Mississippi State, though, the reason why you see this number, the reason why you see it in the market at this point, the market is obviously caught up to it. Everyone's well aware. All the models are obviously well aware. But this number is huge in terms of their home court rating. So this is basically giving them 8 points almost for home court versus neutral in this game. Absolutely absurd.
Yeah. That seems to be about right in terms of what people expect from this home court. But man, yeah, I don't know. Auburn has seemed lackluster on the road too, right? We've seen it in a lot of performances. They struggle on the road. People are saying that they might be due for an early tournament exit because of their inability to perform away from their home court. Yeah, I don't hate Mississippi State. Maybe with an upset. 4 just might not be enough. I really wish it was like 5.5, 6. I'd be there in a heartbeat. If your model was on, or if the lines matched your model, I'd be taking plus 6.5 without much consideration. But I think that's why we don't have the option, right? So
yeah, I'm just gonna say I like Auburn. I might bet Auburn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Radford season ending. Good win for NCAT. Radford, nice run, but just couldn't get it to happen, man. It's sad. But all right. Let's maybe talk about some interesting ones for like playoff games. Now that we've sort of finished the big ones,
Yep.
I think we have a couple conference tournaments today. Those include let's see. Today is the 2nd, so we're gonna have Ohio Valley, Big South. We already know, and then Northeast. Northeast we saw a little bit of on Monday with that gross Fairleigh Dickinson game. But yeah, some interesting games here. So let's check out what's on the slate for those games. We can jump around to them. So let's see. Let's start with that Northeast here. Where are you? What? Oh, NEC. Okay. The NEC today has Central Connecticut Bryant. So that's one I definitely want to talk about because I bet against Central Connecticut once, and I think I want to do it again. I think Bryant's going to just beat them. Where is this one?
That's the very last game.
Oh, sweet. There it is. Yeah, you have 81. You have 81 points for them. 68.3. I mean, yeah.
The market on this one's 16.5. It's got a slight lean the other way. I'm definitely not playing it, but yeah. How do you're wanting to lay 16.5 with Bryant? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I know it's a lot, but this Central Connecticut team is not good. Bryant's been has been sitting there waiting. They're really nice. They put up 100 points on Fairleigh Dickinson already this year, and those teams we saw were neck and neck. So I think Bryant probably has what it takes to get this done, to run away with it, and it's probably the right call. So yeah, I'd grab Bryant. I probably will grab Bryant today. I like this. They should put on a dominant display. They are pretty much expected to win this tournament. Wagner has not been at that level this season. And I don't really think that, the other option is Long Island. They do not have what it takes. So yeah, I think they're just going to cruise. Probably could have taken them for like minus 110 to win the conference tournament. Probably actually even was worse. But yeah, I like this Bryant team. I think it's probably the right way to play it. I also maybe like their team total over. Looks pretty decent as well here. That's another good way to play them. 147.5, probably a little low considering how much they could run it up. Personally, this could be 90 to 65. Like that is not pushing it to me. So we'll see. Yeah.
I'm glancing in the Discord and I'm seeing the betting tickets that someone also got the overtime at plus 1,000, not even the 950.
1275. Yeah, I saw that.
And a 1275. Beautiful.
Yep. Love it. Look, it's at least we didn't split the day. We're up to start, so we'd love to see it. The hilarious under bet there. Good call on the exact score. It's March, baby. We're out here hitting overtime bets. But I just had a weird feeling, man. I just like these teams, you couldn't separate them for sure. But all right. We'll stay in the conference here. We got LIU playing Sacred Heart right here. You have 7.4. The line's 8.5. I don't think we want to play this one. I would maybe lean Sacred Heart, honestly. But yeah. I'm okay. St. Francis Wagner, you go out to Staten Island. This is all New York. We love it. New York. Well, Bryant isn't, right? Bryant's in Rhode Island. But Wagner is here in Staten Island, which I mean, I guess we consider New York, but minus 11. I'm looking for it. Help me if you can.
I have no clue. What game is it?
Wagner. Oh, here it
It's
is.
the
On the
second, yeah,
bottom.
the last two. Yeah.
So you have a big line here as well. This one you actually like the favorite a little bit more profoundly and lean over. I agree again. I agree. I think Wagner's another team that could blow out this St. Francis team. 11 is not going to be enough. Give me these big favorites to get it done in these conference tournaments. You know, and then the smaller games like the St. Francis Mount St. Mary's, I want nothing to do with. This is 7 and 11 versus 9 and 9. It's going to be at Mount St. Mary's. So if you do like the home team, I get it. But Mike has 6, the line's 7, 124 is a super low score. This one could get gross, maybe an underplay. But yeah, I'd much rather take these two big favorites in Bryant and Wagner. I like those a lot. Maybe we do like a little NEC mini donkey and we reduce both those lines by 6 points and do -7.5 for each of them parlayed and get like even money or something. I think that's probably a good play if you can get it. I can't do that in New York. So that sucks, but I would consider that. All right. That's the NEC. Going against Larry in the Wagner game from the early edge, I wouldn't be shocked to see that. It isn't a terrible pick, but I just have such a hard time betting on St. Francis.
Be careful. I don't know if Larry had St. Francis PA or if he had St. Francis Brooklyn.
Yeah, I would go make sure that's on.
I need to look and see.
But I'm just joking because I make Staten Island jokes sometimes. But yeah, I can also go check Larry's pick really quick. Sportsline, Larry Hartstein. Did he play it?
Okay, yeah, you are fading. Yeah, it was his pick from there. Yep.
Okay. Again, I'm not saying like it's going to be one of my official plays, but that's how I would play it. I do like them. I don't. Again, the model agrees. Has a 2.5 point edge. It's not insignificant. So look, we'll take it. We'll see how it goes. Put a little sprinkly on it. But let's talk about the other two conferences that we have to hit really quick. There should only be like 12 playoff games. We've already had one. We're going to go from the Northeast. We are going to go to the Ohio Valley and then the Big South. So let's see what's on for the Ohio Valley first. The OVC. All right, we have 2 games here in the Ohio Valley. We have SIU Edwardsville versus Tennessee State. Gross.
Yeah, I got no thoughts on that. I'm working on the donkey over here.
All right, you work on the donkey. I'll run through these games here. But where the heck is it? I'm doing a real bad job at using my brain today. There it is. Tennessee State SIUE. So your model has 1.4 and a 137 total. Line looks to be 4 points for Tennessee State. So and the total seems pretty solid. Nah, you can't make me bet that. 5 and 13 in the conference for SIU Edwardsville versus 8 and 10. Tennessee State, I don't want either of these games. The other game's Tennessee Tech, Austin P, and that's just not going to be fun to bet. I don't even know. There it is. You have a 0.5 point difference here, 0.7 and 143 total. That's 2. And you have an interesting edge on the over here, Mike.
Which one?
On Austin P. Oh, no, you don't. I'm misreading. You have a 3-point edge. Nope. We're skipping on the OVC today, everybody. Do not bet these OVC games. These are gross. This is like the first round, the bottom of this conference. You don't want.
How about a question for you?
Sure.
Davidson, George Mason, and then the Duquesne game. George Washington, Duquesne.
Oh, Jesus. George Washington, blindly. Don't even need to know what the line is. George Washington's playing a lot better. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Didn't they just win?
I don't follow that conference, so I couldn't tell you.
I kind of do. Let me look into that. What's that? The is that A10? Yeah. Wait, that's the wrong day. Wait, is Duquesne? Oh, today is Wednesday. I
do question Troy Parlay. What's up?
Yeah.
Love you on the early edge in the chat. Nice to see you over here. I personally like Marquette. You can get them -1.5 is where it's going to be trending to, -2 on DraftKings. I've been on Marquette a little bit. I do like their pace of play. I like them in the spot. I personally think DePaul's a little bit of a fraudulent team. It's tough to win road games, obviously, at this point in the season, but I ultimately like Marquette and everything that they've got going. So I lean Marquette there. The Marquette play is going to be in my donkey, where I'm basically going to have an alt line on them at 5.5 to 6. So yeah, I do like Marquette.
I can't believe this Duquesne line. Like, are you joking me?
Is it bad? What's my model?
I'm looking.
I think I had it at like 7 or 8.
Here it is. You had 6. You have it right on 6.5 is where it opened. But they went to Duquesne and they beat them by 21. Like, and now it's at George Washington and it's 6.5. That's so weird to me. I'm gonna be on Duquesne. I mean,
you're gonna be on Duquesne or against Duquesne?
I'm gonna be on George Washington for sure. I'm betting against Duquesne. Do not take Duquesne. My God. GW's got to be 2 possessions on Duquesne. A high school pickup team could get 2 possessions on Duquesne.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, this team has quit. The coaches said they've quit. What do you think? They're going to turn it on now against the George Washington team that's actually like probably feeling like they could maybe make a bit of a run? Nah, give me this. George Washington was leading against George Mason for most of that game, and then the home team finally like edged it out at the end. George Washington still covered pretty easily. Man, yeah, this is George Washington to me. This is probably going to end up being an official pick. But let's get back maybe to these playoff games. I do have a 2 p.m. meeting.
Cool.
It's crazy.
You gotta get out of here.
Yeah, let's just go over the last conference of the day for playoff games. Then you can give that donkey that you're working on over there nice and quietly. So let's go to see the rest of the Big South. We've already talked a little bit about the first 2 games. Again, we just saw NCAT win out on a plus 2.5. It closed minus 1.5. We did very well in that game predicting it. Charleston Southern literally starts in a little bit. I think you got to take UNC Asheville here. I like it. I don't think Charleston Southern's very good. 1-15 in the Big South. Yep. So if you want a donkey line, Mike, there you go. Then we have 2 games later. We have Hampton and High Point and Presbyterian and Campbell. High Point favored by 6 points, and then Campbell favored by 4.5 points.
Do you have what about Davidson, George Mason? Do you like Davidson on the money line or no for the donkey
against George Mason? Yeah, probably. I think Davidson's probably due for a win, and George Mason just had a big, like I said, just beat that George Washington team on a comeback. They could be due for like an emotional letdown here, and Davidson's probably pretty hungry. They haven't been performing well. I'm guessing it's at Davidson.
Yeah, Davidson has actually performed really well the last 3, but yeah.
Oh, interesting. I think they did have a little bit of a cold stretch, right? You have 8.2. I like this. 8 points feels pretty secure in your model to get a win. But let's finish up here, and then we can do the donkey. Hampton, High Point. If I could read today, it'd be awesome. Can't read. They both have H's. Where the hell? Maybe it's not there. Sometimes I like freak out. I'm like, wait, it's not here. Am I going crazy? But yeah, I don't really see it. And then Presbyterian Campbell, I also think maybe didn't make it. I'll check chat to see if I'm blind, but I really doubt I'm that blind here today. But okay. Yeah, no, well, look, I don't really love either one. I'll tell you that much. These are none of these teams had a record better than 500 this season. It's pretty gross. I wouldn't touch these. I think you probably want Asheville. You probably want Hampton plus 6. I know it's gross. And then you probably want Campbell minus 4.5. If I had to choose how to bet those games, I think, it's not there. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate you from keeping me from actually losing my mind. But all right, that's gonna do it. Those are gonna be, again, I think my favorite pick so far today that we saw was that George Washington minus 6. So don't be shocked if this makes it onto Sportsline in an hour or so when I finish all my stuff. But anyway, would you like to take us away on the donkey? And since the people have been so nice to wait for us today,
they have. Amazing. I just entered it and clicked save. I'm going to try and airdrop this and get it on the actual screen just to make it a much better experience. If you got a dip, you got a dip. I totally
No. Well, I'm all right.
Totally get it. But let me
What's up,
airdrop
everyone?
this to this computer.
How are we doing?
Here it
We're up close and
is.
personal now.
All right, let's go. Let's pull this up.
Is it gonna like pop up right here, Mike?
I hope so. If I do everything correctly, it's going to split us. Hey, look at that. All right, so here is the donkey parlay of the day. 0.2 units for me. Play however much you want. I wish I could just put a full unit on it. I haven't. I want to, just to be a massive for this. Plus 458. You might find better numbers depending on the alts that you can find out there. St. John's. Let's bring that one up to 6.5. Let's bring Marquette up to 6.5. Let's get through the 2 full possessions on both of these games. Let's take Arkansas on the money line at home against LSU. Indiana on the money line against Rutgers. That one is definitely controversial. Both of those are really. Arkansas and Indiana, definitely the toughest legs to hit here. Davidson on the money line at home against George Mason, and Alabama at home on the money line against Texas A&M. If you want to get adventurous, drop Alabama from -10 to maybe -5. If you want to boost this up, that'll bring you to like plus 600 on this thing. Something I consider, but I'm going to take them on the money line here.
You can't play alt spreads. I think you want to just go find some big money lines instead of like the alternates. You just want to go find some like heavy favorites.
You can maybe drop the units that you're playing on it. So like I'm at 0.2, drop it to 0.1 or 0.05, and then take St. John's money line and Marquette money line with the rest of these other money lines. Those are obviously going to be basically even money lines for Marquette and St. John's. That's going to increase the payout significantly. I do project both of those teams to win. I'm just baking in a little close game for the donkey here. But if you don't have access to alternate lines, that's what I would do.
And for Milton, who just came in asking about show plays, we really didn't have anything we really loved today. There's probably some stuff cooked in. I'm going to go through and post every single, total edge above 7 and every single spread edge above 8 or 3 for Mike's model a little later today before games start to tip around 5-6 o'clock.
Yep.
And I'll probably post some plays in the Discord and on Sportsline. I just haven't actually done much of it yet today. But yeah, favorite play is George Washington right now for sure. Should be an interesting one. I can't believe Duquesne's expected to keep it within 2 possessions. So we will see you. I don't know. We might be back sooner rather than later. It's March, so we'll definitely be back on Friday. Yeah, but you never know. Yeah. Maybe a little weekend, maybe an extra episode here and there. We'll tweet about it. We'll post about it. You'll know when it happens. We'll see you next time.
Yep. See you guys on Discord.